And there's a lot of people that don't like me. And that's fine. I get it. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But you can't say my stuff don't work, because that's bull. Because it works. It works in my hands. It works in everybody else's hands that puts the work into it. And you're all encouraged to do the same thing. There's nothing. I'm not going to try to shoot you down, talk bad about you. There's a lot of people out there that are doing what I teach. I love it. I'm thankful that the Lord has allowed me to be impactful in that regard. I'm not running around saying, look at me, everybody's trying to be like me. They're all trying to do their own thing. And I was just the catalyst, the conduit to help them get there. They give me a high five. Thank you. Appreciate everything you've done. Run, run, man. I want to see you do it. That's the whole reason why I did this. Think about it. When I stepped out on Baby Piss, if you knew me back then, it was a social experiment. I wanted to see who could do it and what they're going to do with it. How are they going to make an impact in the world? To me, that's interesting. I mean, I have a very biased opinion about what it is I know and what I can do. But I also have limitations on what I'm allowed to do. And I'm not going to divulge any more than that. But if I can bring other people very, very close to what I can do, and I can live vicariously through them, that to me is like winning. Because unfortunately, I have handlers and I can't do certain things. So I have to do within the scope of what I'm allowed to do. This is it. So that was one of the problems I had as a developing student. John Murphy's book, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets, that is a retail trader's Bible. If you do not have that book, you need to get it and read it. And everything in that book, turn it upside down. And you will be a 90% bracket success story. It's just that simple. Everything in that book is horseshit. It's wonderful because it's programming everybody to do the dumbest shit in the world. Look at charts this way. And when you do, you shit yourself. Your account's blown. You have loss after loss after loss. It doesn't make any damn sense. And when I said to myself, I am not looking at this shit like this no more. I'm gonna fade this. And what gave me the idea was, there's a pattern, the head and shoulders pattern. It's a topping formation. And I mean, when I was trying to learn how to be a short seller, and that was one of the things I was afraid of, I didn't understand, how can you sell short something you don't have? How are you going to sell something you don't own? So it was a real struggling point for me, because, like I said, I'm not a mental giant, but the long and short of it is, when I first started dabbling in it, the pattern that I was trusting to be the reason why I'm going to sell short was the head and shoulders, where you have a swing high, a higher swing high, and a lower swing high. And it's like 3 swing highs with one higher in the middle. And then there, you connect the lows that run beneath the left shoulder and the right shoulder of that price action. And it should project lower the same amount or real close proximity to the range from the trend line connecting the 2 swing highs lows to the highest high. And trust me, if you don't know what I'm talking about, because I'm just listening to myself now, it sounds like a bunch of shit. And it is. But if you go to Google and look up head and shoulders price pattern, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Well, that was the pattern I was trying to train myself to trust as a short seller. Man, I got my ass handed to me over and over and over again. And when I look back at my journals, it's the times when I'm fucking trying to do like Friday PM session where I'm buying right there. I was looking at that as some kind of a topping pattern. Not that was a head and shoulders pattern, but I would have been looking at that as, okay, it's done. Now it should start going down. Why? I don't know. It just felt like I should expect it to go down there. And that's exactly how I trade as a 20-year-old. It probably should. Probably should. Probably should. That's not a model. That's guessing. So a lot of the shit that's in that book by John Murphy is wonderful when you know how to trade like I'm teaching you. If you see those retail patterns in the market, in the price action, while my logic that I'm teaching you and how the markets are algorithmic, if there's a wrestling match between what's in those fucking book pages and what I've taught on my YouTube channel, that book's losing. There's your inside edge right there. If you can combine the times when algorithmically the things I'm teaching are likely to pan out, and you can see a retail fucking pattern that's in that book or any other YouTube channel that teaches that horse shit, That's losing, and I'm winning. My logic is the market. That shit is just pictures and candlesticks and bars. That's it. Animal patterns don't fucking exist. That's all contrivance. It's all bullshit. You're making excuses for something that was completely in your favor, not because of logic. It just was happenstance. And that's why their hit rate sucks. And they have to do heavy leverage trades to get themselves out of drawdown. I don't have no fucking stupid ass, 50%, 60% strike rates. Fuck that shit. Okay. If I got to work within that, to me, that's gambling. That's gambling. If I can't know with a great deal of surety that I'm on the right side of the marketplace, number one, how do you get like that? You use a top-down approach. Look at the weekly candle. Is it likely that the weekly candle is going to expand higher or lower? You're not trying to predict the close. Is it likely to expand higher or lower? Right away, that's 80% of your whole bias problem. A lot of you don't even look at the weekly chart. You're looking at the 1 and 5 minute chart because you see me trading there and you think I'm deriving everything from that time frame. I'm not. I'm starting all the way on the weekend tonight. I'm going to look at a weekly chart, not because I'm trading, but it's just because it's pattern. That's what I do. It's my routine. And I'm going to get a feel for what's it likely to be reaching for on the weekly chart. And that's my number one bias. I try to formulate every pattern with the most leverage and maximum risk management behind those trades in that direction. Right away, that removes the bullshit that most of you are going to blow your account on. If you trade like that, it's going to be very difficult for you to blow your account if you have discipline. You still can, but it's more likely that you won't because you'll be trading mostly in the right direction. Oh, how do I know which one's going to? Everything that you see me teaching in price action, you apply to a weekly chart. Is it in going towards a fair value gap above the market price? Is it going towards an old low below market price? It's either going to an inefficiency above the market or below the market, or it's going to a high above the marketplace or below a low below the market price. That's it. That is it. You have 4 conditions divided into 2 premise. It's going up to do one of 2 things. Go in and revisit an inefficiency, a fair value gap, or it's going above an old high for buy-side liquidity. 2 things to worry about, folks. That's it. It's only 2 conditions. That's it. 2 conditions. If it's not likely to go up, it's going to go down. So what's it going to reach for? The nearest inefficiency, fair value gap, or the nearest short-term low. And the nearest short-term low or inefficiency, if it's being bearish, you determine where you are in the market price during the times of the day when you're going to be engaging in trading. Is there enough of a range to allow for you to profit? If there isn't, you just don't do anything. You sit still, wait for a new opportunity. How hard is that? For some of you, it's impossible because you don't have discipline. You're not willing to wait, and you have to wait for these things to come together. There has to be an agreement of multiple facets in time frames, logic, time of day, economic calendar. All those things have to come into the equation. Otherwise, the results you're going to get are random, like it was for me. And when I got good positive results as a 20-year-old, not even trading any of this shit, because I didn't know these things. I was just using stupid books. And I'm talking dumb books. And I didn't have a real good head start until I got Alexander Elder's Trading for a Living book. And the only thing good about that book is multiple time frames, 3 time frames, okay? Not just making your trade decision on one. But the beginning of the book, where it talks about how you have to, deal with the mental things. And they talked a lot about alcoholism. Not that I've ever drank alcohol, because I've never drank alcohol, but I was raised in an environment that had alcoholics in it, and they were dysfunctional. And I had an uncle that introduced me to trading who was a functioning alcoholic. So all those things that he mentioned at the beginning of that book, which I think is absolutely essential reading. And again, I'll say the name of the book, Trading for a Living by Alexander Elder. Now, I have all his other books. Fuck them. They're not as good. The beginning of that book, before he even gets into technical stuff, the beginning of that book is the gem. Understanding things from a psychological standpoint. In my opinion, that part of that book is way better than Trading in the Zone. Trading in the Zone is sugar-coated bullshit, okay? No disrespect to the man. It's a good book. But Alexander Elder's portion of the book where it's all talking about the wrestling match that we have to deal with. And it made sense to me because I watched how all those things impacted my family members who were drunks. and how they couldn't succeed and how they blamed everything outside of themselves. And that same shit happens in trading. Just because it's not alcohol doesn't mean you're not fucking drunk. You can get drunk in these markets and not even being profitable, but still drunk in the sense that you can't stop doing it and you keep doing it knowing it's hurting you. And I did that in the beginning as a trader. And when I read his book, it made so much sense to me because I was like, wow, I'm fucking up. And I can't see I'm causing it myself. And I'm repeating these same things that are problematic. And even though I'm not a drinker and I've never drank alcohol, I could see very easily how I would be a terrible person as a drunk or a drinker of alcohol. And this is why I never done it. And well, that's not entirely why. My 16-year-old uncle passed away from a drunk driver hitting him, and he was drinking while riding it, and he's no more. So he was like a big brother to me. So that was a major thing in my life, why I never became an alcohol drinker and a cigarette smoker and a drug user. So I've never done any, I'm a straight arrow when it comes to that. But that book had a lasting impression on me as a developing trader. And I don't think I would be where I am today had I not read it, because it gave me a perspective on how humans interpret adversity, how we interact with adversity, and how we deflect the personal invitations that we place into our environment. And then when it comes home to roost and we have to deal with the consequences of that shit, we don't want to own it. It's somebody else's fault. And that you can't do that in trading. Like you cannot have that characteristic in trading. You own it. And if you suck as a trader, you have to admit that you suck. Either stop trading or find someone that can teach you how to do the right things, and then give yourself a lot more time than you think it's going to require. If you can't do that, just don't fucking touch these markets. I honestly mean this. Don't even trade. Because if you can't wrestle yourself into submission over things like I'm talking about now, it won't matter how many times I sit with a live stream. I could literally push the button and you trade right behind me. And when I stop, you're going to fail. Because you haven't wrestled those demons that are, they're beneath the surface. You deal with them every day. They cause you to have anxious moments for no real reason, or to be angry and bitter when you're really no reason, to be jealous. All these things are character flaws. You have real issues going on inside of you. And if you have those things going on in your personal life, I'm telling you, the only thing that these markets are going to do is put a spotlight on those things, and they're going to amplify it. If you're a fucking drunk and you can't handle yourself with alcohol, or if you do recreational drugs until you lose your mind and shit, these markets are going to cause you to do more of that shit, and it's going to be the callus that does your ass in. You won't be able to look at, oh, I'm making money, it's going to keep me from doing those things. No, it's going to cause you to do more of those things, because when you get in these markets, the wrestling match internally, you can't make that candle go up. On Friday, I was 2.5 minutes late on when I thought that target was going to hit. I banned a guy on my YouTube channel talking some shit. Oh, nobody can do that. Dude, I do it a lot. I just happened to be 2.5 minutes late on that one. But I'm usually within a 3-minute window, just like on Forex. I'm usually 3 to 5 pips away from the highest high and the lowest low. That's the range of variance I'm allowing myself for precision. I'm usually exiting before that. Why? I want to be exiting, and I learned this from Larry Williams. I want to be exiting as it's sliding into where I think it's going to go, because even if I am, profitable in the trade, I may not be able to get that last bit off because of spread, because of it just simply not going where I thought it was going to go. Because it mentioned earlier, Forex, every broker is going to have a different high and a different low. And that's an inherent problem in that asset class. And if you're demanding precision, you're going to have a lot of compensation with highs and lows and targets. So the way I compensated for it was I would get out 15 pips, sometimes 20 pips before it would go to where I thought it was ultimately reaching, which was in many of your eyes probably, an over kill for it. But I got to live with myself, right? So to be comfortable with what I was doing, that's how I did it. And I allowed the analysis to reward me and say, yeah, it got to where I thought it was going to go. And because it's my results and nobody needs to see what I'm doing, I don't have to say, oh, well, fuck you. Even though I thought it was going to go to this level, it didn't go there. I don't have to listen to the bullshit. Because even though if I do what I do and did on Friday, if I did it every single day of the week next year, I'd still have assholes and asshats in here trying to talk some shit because they're miserable pieces of shit. They suck. They hate their life and they can't do this. So they outwardly manifest what they're feeling about themselves. And that's what goes on in this industry. All the shit talkers, all these jealousy and these people that simply can't shut their fucking mouth or step up for real. Those types of people, they're plagued. They're plagued with real problems. And that's what's holding them back. Because if they weren't being held back, you would see all kinds of proof of them being able to do what, like you saw me do yesterday. That's real precision. That's real algorithmic delivery. Okay. Not retail shit. Okay. None of that stuff that's being used and tossed around as Enigma. Nobody knows Enigma. I've never taught it to anybody outside my family members, and they're never going to know it. Okay. I don't give a fuck. You can drag my ass in front of a court. CFTC will not pull it out of my ass either. I am not going to teach it. You want to see me demonstrate? I absolutely fucking can, because it looks just like yesterday. So put that to bed. Show up in February. On the 7th of February, I will resume mentoring. I will be live streaming on February 7th on YouTube. And we'll all come together and we'll start outlining what our expectations should be. And I'll start teaching you over the chart real time. And I promise you, you will learn over time. It won't be, oh, I watched that one live stream. No. You need to make sure that you understand that this takes time seeing things repeat. The things that I'm going to talk about, they won't feel like they make that much of an impact. Like I didn't learn anything, because you're all looking for entry patterns and indicators to flash across your screen and shit moving around on your chart that hides price action. Fuck all that. That's nonsense. Okay. The algorithm is not looking at triangles and patterns and emojis swinging around on a chart. Okay. That's all nonsense. That's attracting, like a carnival. Remember going as a kid, walking through a carnival, and you got the carnival barkers. Hey, come on over here. $1 gets 3 chances. Let's go. You can do it. Get the pretty girl up here. She can do it better than you, guy. Come on. Jealousy causes the guy to say, you know what, asshole, I'm going to go there. I'm going to win. And then he's spending his money, losing, and his girlfriend's embarrassed. And the carnival barkers made money and put the coin in his pocket. You can't fall victim to shit like that. You can't be induced into doing dumb shit because a chart looks flashy, or it looks more technical because it has more lines and indicators and shit all over it, like these heat map trader guys. There's a guy I'm watching on a live stream now. I don't know what the fuck this guy's got going on in this chart. It looks ridiculous. It's like a bubble magnifies on the chart. What the fuck is that supposed to do for you? Dude, just tell me what time frame you're in. Okay, I'm going to tell you the liquidity or the inefficiency is going to run to. Okay, and then we're going to stick with just that. I don't need a trend line. I don't need no indicators. All I got to do is look for those types of things. It's four things to determine. First is it going up or down? How do you know that? Where did it just trade from? Did it take liquidity, or has it reacted from an imbalance? And how's that fit inside of the weekly expansion? Because you got to go right back to that root of the weekly chart, because that's where the algorithm is. Oh, shit. And you see these guys out there, they're live streaming. Yep, I'm going long here. I got this little thing swinging around telling me I should be a buyer. Nope, I'm going to go short now. Oh, and shit, I got stopped out. Market just doesn't like me today. No, you don't know how to fucking trade. Okay, you're trading against real institutional order flow and real algorithmic price delivery, and you're drawing down in front of everybody. If you just would have simply held onto the trade that was going long and let it rip, if you really knew what the hell was going on, you would have done well. You would have done $15,000, $12,000 on a Friday too in a PM session. But you didn't. You didn't. Because the logic is unknown to everyone else. The people that dig into my course and all of my lessons and listen to these long-winded shit here. Okay, there's 3 people that come into this Twitter space here. 1, people hear me. As soon as I say something that sounds arrogant, oh, fuck this guy. Goodbye. See you later. I don't want you here anyway, because you can't be taught. It's confidence, not arrogance. It's authorship, not pride. Then you have the other crowd that is ready to listen. They can see and hear that I went through this shit. I hurt myself doing this, and they don't want to repeat that same shit. They're smart enough to know this guy's going to tell me how I can avoid majority of the pain. I want to learn that and still get me to the end result he's aiming for as a teacher. And then you have the other person that comes in here and says, this is bullshit. Everything about this is bullshit, despite the proof and everything that's being shown. So I know that that's always going to be the case. It's always been the case when I was on America Online too. But because of social media and the ease of people feeling like they can say anything they want in the safety of their cell phone and 4-inch universe, knowing that they're so far away from the person they're talking shit about, they would never do that in front of them. And the anonymity hides them. And they're living mundane little lives that don't do shit. They are nobodies. And because they're miserable, they're going to say things to you when you step out there. If you have a YouTube channel or if you do a service, and they're going to claim that you are a scammer or a fraud, despite being able to do what nobody else can do, because they feel like they have to do it because they can't stomach it. They can't do it. And you have to sit back and let them roast in it, stew in that, because you can't fix them, despite ever trying to. You can't. I tried it. You can't reach these people. They think that they're going to take you down, they're going to hurt you. They're not going to do shit. They're going to still be right where they're at, and you're going to elevate more and more and more and more, and they're not going to hold you back. Your friends aren't going to hold you back unless you let them. Your job isn't going to hold you back unless you let it. Your job isn't going to be the reason why you can't be successful. It's going to be the reason why you're fucking going to be successful, because right now where you're at, that money, that's it. How much do you anticipate getting a raise next year? Think about it. How much of an increase in pay are you expecting to get from your boss or your company? How about this? Are you sure you're going to be still employed next year? If the economic downturn increases into next year, it might. If it does, how would that impact you and your household? You got to get right. You got to get ready. You got to make your house ready. You got to find a way to get income. Learn how to do this skill. Trade. Get funded if that's what you want to do, if you don't have the funds to do it. Multiple streams of income. YouTube, showing your prowess. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's bragging. I don't think it's showing off. I think it's you doing you. And if people have a problem with it and they're jealous, fuck them. Fuck them. Because if they could do it, they would do it too. And they wouldn't give a fuck that other people can do it. I don't care that other people are doing it. There's lots of other YouTube. Listen, I've already said it in this video. Oh, not this video, but this space and other spaces. I got every bit of respect for even the assholes that don't like me. That if they get out there and they live stream, fumble around in my, the market replay and fake demo accounts and calling it live accounts, do it. If you're pushing a button in front of other people, go right ahead. You're in funded accounts and you're out there and you're pushing a button and you think it's going to happen. Look, man, all the respect to you. Great. That's just not my cup of tea. I don't need to do that. I've never had to do it and I ain't going to do it. But I'm going to be out there next year and I'm going to be outlining where I think the market's going to go. And I guarantee you, every one of these live streamers are going to be listening to my shit. They may not like it. And if I get it wrong, you're going to hear that they watched it. But you won't hear it when the 90% club is, this is what happened and this is what panned out. And see, that was the main takeaway for this year. I want you to know this in closing, because we're closing this space. I know it's been a long one, but it's the last one, right? So when we spend time together next year and we go through the process of looking at what the markets are doing and how it's likely to draw towards one pool of liquidity or an inefficiency above or below the marketplace, over the course of the week, you need to be able to take stock on what it is that transpired. How many times was it right versus how many times it was wrong? By doing that, what that's going to help answer for a lot of you is that scared feeling of, what if my trade is wrong? Or what if I do it wrong? If you're afraid to do it wrong, and that's an impediment for you beginning, I can see how that would be paralyzing. But we're going into this with no buttons being pushed the whole year. You're telling me I shouldn't trade? I'm telling you If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you shouldn't be in there doing that. No, you shouldn't be in there trying to get funded accounts. You should be learning how to read price. I promise if you do that for this coming year, you will have no difficulty getting a funded account. And then once you get that funded account, you're going to know based on what I teach you next year how to manage that funded account so you don't lose it. And you can take from it and harvest income. And you need to do it soon because I believe that those funded accounts aren't going to be so accessible soon. It's just a gut hunch. I might be completely wrong, but while it's available, you need to be taking advantage of it. But don't think it's going to be closing up next month. A couple years, it might not be there. And it'd be best if you could just harvest what you could from it while you can. Get your scratch raised up, your money, your bankroll, the way you can, and get your side hustles on YouTube, account service, not account service, what am I saying? Like analysis communities where, I have no problem someone coming under my wing, learning from me, and then going out there and monetizing their skill set. I'm not going to look at that, oh, you asshole, you copied off of me. I trained you. That was the whole intent. I'm telling you to go out there and make fucking money. That's the reason why I did this. I didn't make this so I can be, followed the most on YouTube, and that's it. I want people fucking making money. I want to know when I lay my head down, I can think back and say, you know what? I've impacted people's lives for the better. And now nobody can find fault in me. I'm not charging you. I'm not taking anything from you, but I'm promising you, you are absolutely going to see shit on a different perspective next year. You're going to see it. You're going to understand it. You may not be able to execute like you see me doing because that's unrealistic, right? But finding one good setup and knowing that that's enough and stopping until you grow in your own personal ability, that's the proper way of learning. That's a real mentorship right there. That's it. That's being taken under the wing by someone that knows how to do it. You don't have any animosity because you're not being asked to pay for something you can barely afford. And then you're worrying about, is it really worth the amount of money I paid? No amount of money could be paid to me to justify what I'm willing to do next year. You couldn't pay me. It's because I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to help you. I want to see you succeed. And I want to have a small part in that. Not because I want you to worship me. Once you get there, hey man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's enough. You don't have to have a memorial to me on your fucking YouTube. Okay. You don't need to have a license tag. ICT got me here. Fuck all that. That's worship. I don't want that. Just acknowledge, give me thanks. And that's it. That's all. That's all I ask for. Isn't that reasonable? That's reasonable, isn't it? I'm not going to ask you to do something beyond just working towards it, the effort. And I want to share that moment with you, a small moment of it. It's all yours. It's all your credit. But I just want to have that moment where I can look at you and say, I told you, if you just gave yourself the chance, look where you're at now. Look what you were able to accomplish. Look at where you're at right now and what you can do. That feeling of accomplishment that you grinded through all the bullshit, all the horse shit, everybody doubting you, your fucking friends, your fucking spouse, your fucking anybody online ever said anything about you. You know what it feels like. They said something to you. You got a chip on your shoulder. That shit falls off and smooths out real quick when you start making $30,000 a month. Real fucking smooth. You ain't got no problems then. I want to see and hear your testimonies. I don't want to see it in a text. I want to see people's faces this time next year. I want to see them say, this totally transformed everything. And this is what I'm going to do with it. I've had so many personal testimonials sent to me like that with video. And my wife and I, my kids, I'm moved. Because I know what it was like for me. It was very, very hard. And I didn't have any of this support structure you guys have. And this is my entire life. I pour everything into my students because I want them to succeed. I don't want them to have any of the hardships. But some of you fight me and you arm wrestle me and you want to do it your own way. And I know it's not the right way. And you don't know that it's not the right way. Everything in your life's about to change. You don't understand how much yet. And I'm trying to do the best I can to make it a little bit easier. And for some of you, you're going to take this skill and do amazing shit with it. You're going to live a totally different lifestyle. And I don't want you to be selfish with it. When you see somebody in need, help them. Not when they ask you for it either. Now, I'm not talking about, I'm going to help them by teaching them. And that's not what the fuck I said. Help them. They need something. Provide it. Do it anonymously. You see somebody in the grocery store, they're pushing a cart around. You can read their face. You can see it. They're broke. Come behind them and pay them. Tell the cashier, I got them. I do that every time I go to the grocery store. When I first got with my wife, she was like, what are you doing that for? She didn't understand it. I said, never tell me that again. Don't ever speak to me about it. Don't ever ask me to justify why I'm doing it. You want to touch somebody's heart, you do that. And when they turn to you and they say, you just let me have enough money for the rest of the week. The rest of the month, I don't have my rent money, but I can feed my kids now because of that. It costs you nothing, man, to do stuff like that. It costs you nothing. And think about how many times you know you were standing right next to somebody that could have used a hand like that and you didn't do a fucking thing because it felt uncomfortable. When you live your life like this and you want to do it for people, and I've had people say, no, I don't want you to do that. Some of them actually cussed me out. I didn't ask you for a handout. It's going to happen sometimes. But you want to leave an impression, a good one. And when you start doing things like that for other people, it's contagious. And you want to do it more. And it changes you. Because as a 20-year-old, I was a real arrogant prick. And I was self-centered and it was all about me. I never would have helped anybody else in the store. I never would have gave them anything. I never would have bought them a car. I never would have gave them a house. I never would have done any of those things. I never would have paid for their children to get through school. I never would have gave their kids clothes, school supplies, the entire time they had their whole schooling. I never would have done those things. I was all about me. I had to make me feel good. And the more I did for me, the shittier I felt about everything I was doing. I felt like a vacuum. I couldn't fill it. Everything I tried to do that was all about me, looking good, driving this, living like this, spending that. The more I poured into it, the more empty I was. The more money I made, the less I felt I had any. I didn't have any substance, none. So you have to have a planned direction, what you're going to do when you have this money coming in. What are you planning to do with it? I see a lot of people, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be this and this. It all changes when it's all about them. Because when I was 20, I was the same way. And don't think that won't help you be a better person when you start doing it, because it will. And then when you start trading larger, you start thinking to yourself, you know what? I'm not taking this trade to do something, for me financially, which drives people into dumb decisions like it did with me when I was 20.